This is Billy, the weather guy, live. Today, we're going to talk about this potential tropical storm, which is likely to develop into tropical storm Isaias, and your 7-day forecast and some other stuff. So let's just get right into the weather.
Billy the weather guy.
So here it is. Let's just Yep.
Okay, so you remember Invest 92L, this kind of disorganized system that's sitting east of the Lesser Antilles. It's expected to move up into some of those islands and eventually Puerto Rico, possibly affecting the southeastern United States a little bit later on. It's got sustained wind of about 40 miles per hour at the center. The Hurricane Center is now calling it a potential tropical cyclone. That allows them to put out tropical storm warnings, which they have for a lot of the Lesser Antilles.
Which is more of a recent change in the last, year or two. I'm not sure exactly when, but this is definitely a good thing that they do nowadays because it makes sense.
All the way up through Puerto Rico right now. It also allows them to put out a forecast cone. Yep. And right now there is some strengthening that's forecast.
That way they can just say, this is likely to be a tropical storm. Let's just call it a potential one and give some alerts and stuff. Makes sense, no?
Through the end of the week, but the official forecast does not have this getting up to hurricane strength. It's fighting a lot of shear. It's also fighting some dry air that's out ahead of it. It's not going to be enough to really just completely stop the storm from forming, but it should be enough that it won't become a really powerful storm. That's how it looks right now. By the way, the next name, and this is likely to become a named tropical storm at some point within the next couple of days, it's not Isaias, it's pronounced Isaias.
Okay then, Isaias. Yeah, so here are the warnings and everything, the alerts and stuff. It might become a hurricane, but that's really stretching it, honestly, if you see here. 60-mile-per-hour winds. That ain't hurricane status, so. Yeah. Let's move on to Douglas. Well, what happened with Douglas? Just watch.
Well, if you live in Hawaii, I'm sure you've been following Hurricane Douglas really, really closely, and you may be thinking, man, I thought this was going to be a big hurricane that was going to hit all of Hawaii. What happened? Well, basically, it ended up just being a really close miss just to the north.
Yeah, they got lucky with that one.
Right? We've been watching this really closely over the last week, even a little bit more, and at the end of the day, a lot of the forecast models just kept trending a little bit farther toward the north is where the center of the storm was going to go. Now, we still had some impacts. We had some flooding in some isolated spots, but when you look at the recap of the radar here, just to show you exactly where the storm went, it was really, really close to being a direct hit, not only for the Big Island, but also places like Molokai, Maui as well. Look at that, just about 30 to 50 miles off the coast, and what a huge difference it is being on the outskirts of one of these as compared to being directly in the eye wall. Okay, so this could have been a whole lot worse. The other thing was that the heaviest of the rain fell north of the center of the storm. Even so, we had some flooding issues. It just didn't really get windy enough to cause widespread power outages and widespread wind damage and that type of stuff.
Yeah, they got lucky with that one. So people that live in Hawaii, Hawaiians or whatever, you guys got lucky. But I want to talk about the weather, in terms of the recap, some sort of a recap for us. So, yeah, yesterday was the hot one, maybe the hottest day of the year. The summer, summer's the hottest time, obviously. So, but anyway, yesterday from 12:15 to 7:30 at night, it was 90 degrees or above. And it hit a high of around 97 degrees. That was about 4:30 in the afternoon. The heat index, if you want to look at 90 to above, it was 11 a.m. to 8:30 in the evening. And 100 or above was at 3 to around 7:30. So yeah, it hit a high of about 102 degrees yesterday, the heat index. So very hot. Speaking of hot, what's the temperature right now? As you see, 89 with the light feels like of 94. There is a chance of a thunderstorm later on into the evening hours, so we will see what happens with that. But yeah. So tonight, 70 degrees, 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. Being mostly clear after midnight. So tomorrow, high of 91, low of 69. Sunny. 5 to 10 mile per hour winds Thursday, high of 91, low of 68. 5 to 10 mile per hour winds with some thunderstorms in the evening. Friday, high of 86, low of 66, partly cloudy. 5 to 10 mile per hour winds. We start to see a bit of a cool down for this weekend. Still quite warm, but Saturday, high of 87, low of 68. winds light and variable. Mostly sunny and being quite cloudy at night. So nice. Sunday, some more thunderstorms. High of 85, low of 75, 10-mile-per-hour winds. Monday, some more thunderstorms. Ugh. High of 86, low of 68. Yeah, otherwise it'll be nice when it's not thundering, right? Partly cloudy. So Tuesday, high of 81, low of 65, some thunderstorms, 5 to 10-mile-per-hour winds. Though it really starts to get cooler then, around 80 and some cooler days ahead then after that. But yeah, so that is your 7-day forecast. Well, make sure you're COVID safe, heat safe, hurricane ready, and all the rest of it. So, like this live stream if you thought it was good. Subscribe if you want to see more. Make sure the bell icon's on for the notifications. I will see you soon, likely, since we have this likely to develop into tropical storm Isaias. So that will likely hit Florida around Saturday, Sunday. So we will see what happens with that one. But until then, well, I guess I'll see you around. So
Billy, the weather guy. I do the weather weekly. I also make a seasonal forecast, so you can be prepared for each season. Billy, the weather guy. Last week I live streamed to keep you in the know, so you can better prepare for every possibility. That has been Billy, the weather guy. Tune in weekly.